In chapters 4 and 5 of the book of Revelation, we see this incredibly grandiose, majestic, glorious, intimate adoration scene of worship that's happening around the throne of God. This is being communicated to people in 7 churches. The majority of them are oppressed, and they are beginning to sing these songs, but they're being modeled worship, and they're being modeled a very expressive form of worship. And it's important, I think, to say that when we're worshiping God, when we're adoring Him, that we're not just saying words. It's not just a cerebral activity, that it's an activity, it's a full life, it's a full body, it's a full expression kind of an activity with God. So there is in this, there's shouting. So, I mean, yes, words are being said when we're shouting, but shouting is a worship. It's a kind of mode of worship. There's shouting and there's volume in it. There's falling down. There's laying down our crowns. There's playing music that's happening on the harps. There's praying that's being lifted up. There's singing, lots and lots of singing that goes on in these worship scenarios in Revelation. Throughout the scripture, worship is expressive, that the people of God express worship to the Lord. And so they lift their hands, they stand up. That's another thing that they do down. They bow down, they stand up. That these are expressions that mean that our bodies and our lips and our hearts and our minds are all in agreement that we are giving something, we're bringing something, we're focusing on someone, we are giving everything that we've got to the Lord. And this is not just a once a week kind of Sunday morning kind of an idea. This is a kind of activity that we cultivate in our lives, that we cultivate worship, that if you play an instrument, great. But if you don't play an instrument, you don't have to have an instrument to be able to do this, that you can worship God by yourself. You can walk around and declare these things. You can speak these things. And as you do, you orient yourself to God and His kingdom. You orient yourself to God and His love. You orient yourself to God and His power by expressing worship.